So, this time let's talk about a question which is in everybody's mind who is interested in art and who goes to exhibitions, art opening, group exhibitions, solo exhibitions, enjoys art in hotels, in airports, and so on, or white cubes or galleries. And we always ask ourselves why and how did art become what it is nowadays? Because, yeah, let's face it, art is an exclusive, very, exclusive. Exclusive, what does it mean? It means it's not for everyone. So imagine the situation, you go into a gallery, somebody's sitting behind a laptop, checking the emails. They look up and they're like, sorry? And you hear this loud echo in these big white rooms where you have like the painting or the artwork, and then you have a little saying, oh, that's the title, that's the name, and if it's sold or not, or then it's the material and it's the size, because you're looking for something for your home. But art should be respected a lot more than just a decorative thing, right? And what happens is this exclusivity turns the art market in such a way which is becoming ridiculously blunt, when that's the right word for it. So students are not exploring anymore the real meaning of art, the real expression. They are mostly focusing on, oh, where is my niche? How can I make with like plastic bags scattered around on the floor? Maybe some collector, wild collector, is gonna buy that and put it in their art house, what they have next to their guest house and their main house. And the problem in the end is that, like, apart from this very closed art market and these auctions with the crazy high prices for a Richter painting, for example, where also the painter themselves, the artists themselves, they are more and more understanding this is leading nowhere. I mean, sure, we have the big names, sure, we have these hundreds of millions for a painting, and at the same time we have art which is printed on computers and doing AI art, doing NFTs. All this kind of thing turns art into a more like a commodity rather than something what you actually should integrate into your life every day. And that's why I think this art and cultural sector, where I happen to work as well in my so-called career, is such a, no, I don't know. Now I'm gonna quote Banksy, big name dropping, and I'm also very thankful for this person or this group. I think it's a group of people to open up a lot of doors. But what he said is right true in this circumstance where we creative people are living right now and nowadays, where we have to adapt to, not feeling the possibility to actually make a living out of what we love the most. For example, painting or sculpting. And we end up in other jobs. We do things which are considered creative, but they are not, most of the time, they're not really artistic. That means like you turn your activity being an artist into a service provider. And don't get me wrong, I completely get that. But what you lose there on the way is your originality, your purpose in life or in your creative endeavor, in your creative part of your existence. So, and coming back to the quote, finally I'm gonna say it. He said, yeah, the problem with art nowadays, I mean, I'm just quoting right about, okay, say the quote now. So as I understood it, he said, the problem with art nowadays is that there are not so many people left to do art, because most of creative people are doing jobs like web designers, or became engineers, I mean, I don't judge these jobs as being non-artistic, but for the art world, there's not so much left in the end, because there are not so many possibilities to actually make a living out of what you love most, is painting, for example. So, in the end, everybody is an artist. And to quote another great artist, Joseph Beuys, and when I was approaching, for example, his art at the beginning, it was really, really hectic, because I just knew like the performance art. But he said so many right things in his lectures, and a lot of wisdom came from there. And it's like the 70s, where the art market was not in this state where it is now. But now we have the unique possibility, I think, through the internet, through all these possibilities what we have now, to fully connect with each other and not gatekeep anymore, and not say like, oh yeah, but did you study art? Did none of my collectors ever ask me. And to democratize art again, and we did that in the project Arte da rubare, like art to be stolen, if it's a right translation. So you could pick up a painting which would be worth 200 euros, 500 euros, 1,000 sometimes. You could pick it up on the streets because you were lucky to find it. So at that point it was, wow, everybody's like, no, what you're doing, this is worth money, even when it's 50 euros, you can't put this on the streets. And we knew that the reaction was like this, and it was actually so simple to actually evoke this reaction. So that brought us also to television. We had a lot of interviews, we had a lot of views, interviews. But it didn't leave fully the point what we really wanted to do. But the singular story is what we experienced, where people who would not, I mean, not because of the exclusivity of art galleries, would approach a painting which they find on the streets. Because also it's two-sided, this whole art market thing. It's either you are an artist but you can't make it, or you are somebody who is interested in art but you are also being excluded. So it's a very, yeah, again, exclusive. And exclusivity doesn't mean it becomes better. It just means like, oh yeah, it's a little circus which we are building in our white cubes, and we are standing around with the Prosecco glass, and we are, where is the artist, asking these questions, and wow, what was your inspiration? Instead of opening the doors and not just consume art, but understand art as a wonderful, yeah, entity in our society. And that's why I was always happy when I could do exhibitions in public places where people from all kind of backgrounds could come and look at it. And the feedbacks I got were sometimes from such a quality where I think it's interesting, we should integrate art more in our society again, and not keep it as exclusive and it's as snobbish, now I said it, as it's been treated also by the people who are working there. And I don't point the finger on anybody and say like, no, it's your fault or it's their fault or whatever. It's more this understanding that we have to open up the doors again also from cultural institutions and let also somebody exhibit who maybe is a self-taught artist, and give them the platform. And because in the end, what are they gonna do otherwise? And we lose a lot of potential and views. And that's why in the end, the internet is, I think, for so many things, as we saw for like decades now, but with the possibility, and now also, for example, I started now YouTube. It wouldn't have been on top of my mind like 5 years ago, even though I understood like, wow, all this potential. And already the feedback and the motivation I got out of it is so interesting, to be able to reflect on what you think is right and what you think is wrong, and share your opinion. And doing it via the mode of art is something which should be accessible to anyone. And the immense impact what I saw on individuals who painted someone, who let their thoughts out on a also abstract painting, it's absolutely magnificent. And we shouldn't gatekeep any material or method or technique and just make these like small, short reels without explaining anything, or shorts, how it's called here. We should really, open up our doors to our studio and be like, look around, have a look. This is how it's being done. It's not that super difficult. Sure, for everything you have a learning curve at the beginning, which is tremendous, and then you feel like, wow, but this is enough already for so many of us. And it's also nice to plateau. I painted the same painting or the same stencil for many years, because I was still learning on this kind of expression. And then I turned shortly to abstract, which taught me a lesson again, where I thought like, I can paint now, I can do abstract. And I started at zero again, but actually I liked it. So when you want to start art, just start it. Don't think, because I just didn't go to art school, now I cannot do that. I mean, you've been a baby one time and a kid with a pencil, and you drew something, and you have to come back to that point sometimes and just be more playful. And that's why, this is what I think about the cultural art market or complex or sector. So next time you have a solo exhibition, make sure you have a canvas where kids or also grown-ups can draw a line or spray something, include people. And the feedback you get and the immense understanding also about your own art when you are also a sculptor or this more visual arts, it's just fantastic. Just open up the doors and let people try out things. And the positive energy you get out of this is just immense. So shout out to all the artists, and shout out to everybody who is an art lover and interested in it. And I will continue with these kind of videos where I just have a fast setup and talk about a topic. So if you have anything you want to know my opinion about, or if you have a feedback on this video, let me know in the comments below. I read every comment and I'm really curious what you think about what you heard today. I hope it was not too long, 12 minutes. Have a nice evening.